There is an old saying that parenting is either a 20 years project or it's a lifetime project. 20 years because if you are able to give good upbringing to your child that can make him a happy, healthy and an independent kid, then it's a 20 years project. Otherwise, your child would depend on you for something or the other. In this series, we would be covering all those tools that would make your child happy, healthy and an independent kid. So let's start with today's episode, that is brain development.
So this starts even before the baby is born. Last 4 months of the pregnancy are very crucial for baby's brain development. During this time, if mother stays happy, then brain of the child develops well. However, if mother takes stress and tension, then it directly gets transferred to the child and it hampers brain development. Excessive stress can make a baby more irritable and less consolable. It can inhibit baby's motor skills, attention and ability to concentrate, and it can significantly reduce your child's IQ level. See, not all stress is bad. If you can manage the situation well, and if the stress is just to make you more aware about the situation, then that's okay. But if something that is getting out of control and something that is constantly bothering you, then it hampers the baby's brain health. So it's important that you stay happy at least during the last 4 months of the pregnancy. The biggest bonus is that your child would be a happy child. He would not be irritable after the child is born. But if you take stress, child would always be irritable and would constantly bother you after birth. So spend a great amount of time with friends and family, take massages, watch comedy movies, do yoga and meditation, and keep yourself calm. So the relationship between mother's happiness and child's brain development has been studied by researchers, and they have quoted an example of Canadian storm of 1998 where more than 1 million people lost electricity for up to 40 days and 100,000 families were shuttered into emergency shelters. Women who were pregnant during this time were stressed in a toxic way. It turns out their children were too. At age 5.5, the kids had lower IQ and poorer language abilities than kids whose mothers were not affected by the storm. Now let's see what we can do about child's brain development after the child is born. At birth, the average baby's brain is about a quarter of size of an adult's brain. Now this doubles in the very first year, and then it keeps growing at an exponential rate and reaches 80% of adults' brain size by the age of 3 and 90% by age of 5. So these 5 years are very crucial for child's brain development. The child's brain is growing at such a fast pace that it is making 1 million new neural connections per second. So it's important that we remain mindful of child's upbringing and how we respond to child's need for connection. See, now this early brain development has a lasting impact on child's ability to learn and succeed in school and life. The quality of child's experience in the first few years of life, positive or negative, helps shape how their brain develops. Now, if they are spending more time playing video games, watching TV, texting, and more time with technology, their brain would develop in a certain way. But if they are spending more time with friends, family, with education activities, sports, and music, then their brain is going to develop in a different way. And researchers have proved that the connection with friends and family that provides face-to-face interaction is very crucial for a healthy brain development. And a child learns faster when they get more and more face-to-face interaction with people. See, from birth, young children try to engage their parents and their caregivers through smiling, crying, cooing. And this serves and return process is fundamental to the wiring of kids' brain. See, when parents give proper attention to child, when child is expressing his need for attention, then they are literally building child's brain. That is the reason it is so important to talk, sing, read, and play to young children from the day they are born, and to provide safe, stable, and nurturing environment. Children who experience more positive interaction in their early years, they go on to become healthier and more successful in their school as well as in their professional life. While toxic stress, it can weaken your child's brain and it can lead to lifelong problems in learning, behavior, physical, and mental health. So, to give you an example, a friend of mine was telling me that when their kid was small, he would wake up at night somewhere around 2 o'clock. Now, for a day or two, they would try to pacify him and help him go back to sleep. But on the third day, they actually slapped that baby. They told me that baby didn't cause any issue after that. Now, this kind of a behavior, this kind of a treatment to kid actually weakens their brain architecture. Now, you need to understand that baby is just a small person who cannot even speak and express his displeasure or problem. So the only way he can communicate is through crying. So it's important that we try and understand what they're trying to say and we work accordingly. Okay, now let's take the discussion forward and talk about left brain and right brain. So we all know that left brain is responsible for logic and reasoning, language and speech, maths, science, and sequential processing, while the right brain is responsible for creativity and imagination, intuition, holistic thinking, spatial awareness, and emotional processing. See, at birth, the left brain is not completely developed, and also the connection between left and right brain hasn't strengthened yet. And that is the reason why you would see that child throws tantrum. They are more on the emotional side and less on the logical side. So that is the reason we need to give them time until their brain connection strengthens and their logical brain completely develops. So this understanding will help you understand that if a child is throwing tantrum, then it is not child's fault or they are not doing it deliberately. It's because their brain is still under construction and it will take time before they start thinking like you, where you are weighing both the things, that is logic as well as emotions, together and responding to the external world. So does that mean we should allow our kids to do whatever they want and throw tantrum and misbehave until their brain fully develops? No, that is not what we mean. There are tools, there are exercises and ways through which we can teach our child to think before they act. So we'll talk about those tools in the upcoming episodes. Now let's take a look at speech, language, vision, and hearing milestones of the child. These milestones have been taken from Stanford Medicine's website. I'll provide the link in the description below.
So that is all for today. If you found the content helpful, please do like, comment and share our video as much as possible. And don't forget to subscribe our channel because every week we would be coming up with new videos. Thank you.